This is Dr. Quinlan with Quinlan Chiropractic Clinic from Coppell, Texas, and you're listening to the Dunham Business Radio Show.
Hey, this is Queen Sylvie.
And Smooth Tim.
Of the multiple award-winning The Queen Sylvie Show.
And you're listening to the Dunham Business Radio Show.
Live from Arlington, Texas, it's the Dunham Business Radio Show. And here's your host, Lori Dunham.
Thank you so much for tuning in. What an amazing day. It's just a fabulous day for, you know what? It's a fabulous day to get out of the house, right? Who's suffering from cabin fever? Who is it? Let me see you. Let me see your hands. Type it in the chat. Let me hear you. Where do you want to go in the whole wide world? Yeah, today, this is your day. You can start dreaming about where you want to go, because this is the day we're going to talk about getting out of the four walls and traveling the world. But before we jump in and talk to our very special guest, I want to bring on my international summer co-host from the fabulous country of Brazil. Welcome back to the show, everybody, Loiane Bessa.
Oh, yeah, I'm so happy. Come on, traveling is my favorite thing in the world. So I'm so excited for today. Thank you so much, Lori. It's awesome to be here again with you.
I'm so excited. You're back by popular demand. You're a pretty popular co-host.
I'm not. Come on.
You are. Yeah, people want to know, where's Loiane?
Oh, no way. Come on.
So
that's
for the
not
brand
true.
new, you know,
I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm really happy you're here too. Thank you so much for coming on and taking your time to do this. You're a very busy person.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we had an increase in followers over the last 14 days or so. We went up 12% in our followers. So that's a good handful of folks, you know. So an extra 12%, that's pretty good. And so thank you so much for everybody who's sharing the show and, you know, commenting, engaging, and getting out there and just keep spreading the word. It's just absolutely great. We are an international radio show. But for the new folks, Loiane, who don't know you, just talk a little bit about who you are, what you do down there in Brazil, and what you like best about being on the show.
Woo. Yes, for sure. So first of all, congratulations, Lori. You deserve it. You work very hard for this, to work on this way. So yeah, thank you so much. So I am Loiane. My name is Loiane. I'm from Brazil. I'm 26 years old and I am a psychologist, but I don't want to focus on this today, right? Because beside this, I am a traveler, a big traveler. I travel all over the world, and we are going to talk about this. And I think I have this, you know, free spirit, and yes, that would be a good show for sure. So thank you for choosing me.
Now, where are some countries that you have been?
I've been to Mexico, to Panama. I've been to the United States. Oh, yeah, baby. I've been to Argentina.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so, yeah, I guess that's all for now. Yeah.
Mostly like South America, right?
Yeah, South America. The
Yeah,
countries here, they are amazing, so. Yeah,
you know, we have co-hosts that have jumped in. They're from Morocco and India. So maybe the two of us, we can just go, you know, we'll take our special guest that's on the show today and we'll book a trip with her and we'll just all jet set over to India. I think Roshni would have a great time with that.
Wow, for sure.
I just signed her up. She doesn't know.
Awesome. I'm so excited.
Be careful what we say on the show, right?
Let's go.
Well, listen, I am super excited. Let's jump in because this is really a great, great day. So tonight, I'm excited to introduce you the incredible and smart businesswoman who is passionate about travel. Originally, she's from Thailand, and she moved to the U.S. as a child, and she settled in Texas in 2017. Traveling has always been a big part of her life.
Wow.
She and her husband retired. He's a retired Air Force pilot. So there's the travel.
Okay.
They currently live in Texas with their 4 daughters. She had a desire to share the world with others and to help enrich their lives through travel. So in 2018, she took massive action and she started her own business in this billion-dollar travel industry. Her company is called Dream and Create Travels, and now she has choices. She can stay at home with her family for staycations in and around Texas, or she can travel anywhere in the world with them. Through her own travel agency, she helps others with their dream vacations too. Now just picture this. Whether it's a yearly family reunion on a cruise, a special girls' weekend in New Orleans, an exclusive honeymoon getaway in Bali, a family skiing trip in the mountains, touring Europe by train, or visiting historical locations throughout this glorious United States, or just about anywhere else that you can witness the beautiful world that God has created, she can book it. Let me tell you.
Wow.
Now, not only is she an experienced world traveler and an agent to get your next adventures off the ground, she has shaped her experience, and now she pays it forward as a business mentor, coaching others in their own travel business. And with her by your side, you can design your own life, travel the world in style, have the freedoms that the travel industry allows, and build memories that last generations. And she's here to tell us all about it, that and much more. Please make welcome to the show our special guest, Anna Cady. Welcome.
Woo-hoo. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. Oh my goodness, what an incredible introduction, Lori. That is amazing.
It's all about you. You're the amazing one.
Oh my goodness, I feel flustered now.
No need.
I'm sweating here.
Girls out on the patio having a conversation. Don't need to be nervous. Yeah, there's only 4 people listening right now. So
oh no, that was amazing. Yes, travel is such a passion of mine, and I'm so excited to be here to be able to discuss that with you, and just for you to be able to feel the energy and the positivity of just getting out there and experiencing the world. So thank you for that. So yeah, a little bit about me. Just like she had said, my name is Anna Cady, and I am originally from Thailand and currently living here in this great state of Texas. You know, I am the CEO to my household, which is just a fancy word for stay-at-home mom. 4 beautiful daughters, yes, 4 girls, no little boys in there, and a wife to a retired military pilot. So yeah, I was also a military child myself. And growing up, of course, we traveled all over the world and lived at all different places. And so as a child, I had been able to experience that as well. And of course, married my husband, and you know, he did 24 years in the service. So we were able to travel that way as well and be able to live in different countries and different cultures, experience different cultures. And so it's always been a part of my DNA. I mean, it's something that I do, and I can't imagine doing anything else. So I got in this particular industry, this business, because I also wanted to have my children experience those, and to be able to just really get to, you know, when you're experiencing that type of life and getting to meet different people in different cultures, it just does something to you as an individual, and you're able to learn those and make more connections, and just being able to do that and having that type of life. For me, I've grown up to be, personally, I think, a more well-rounded person, basically, to be exposed to all that. And I want that for my kids as well. I want them to be able to experience that. And so I want to be able to help other people to be able to experience that type of lifestyle as well, and to be able to create these incredible memories for them, because memories you'll always have. Materialistic things you'll lose. So
that's such a great philosophy. And for sure, I mean, travel and going to different places, seeing different civilizations and cultures. And I think it really does make you a more well-rounded person. And I think that's fantastic. So in 2018, you started your company, and basically it was meant just to book travel for people around the world.
That is correct. It was meant to basically book travel for people, travel for myself. I didn't even know that was a possibility, to be honest with you, to be a stay-at-home mom and to have a travel business. And of course, I did research out there and found the originator of the home-based travel business and decided to partner with them and became an independent travel agent. And my agency is called, or my business, my travel business is Dream and Create Travels underneath the host agency. So yes, I absolutely love it.
That is awesome. Now, how many trips would you say you book a year? And I know we're in the middle of pandemic, but how many trips did you book last year? How about that? Let's say that.
Wow. Okay. So let's see. That was in 2000. So I started my business August of 2018. And, those first 6 months, I really didn't book really much of anything. It was just my personal travels until you build a clientele. Because you got to go and market yourself. But through my personal experience, I was able to definitely pick up a lot more clients in 2019. So goodness, I'd say I probably booked at least 1 to 2 trips a month. And that is strictly on a part-time basis, which is great for me, which, I love. Once again, I'm also a stay-at-home mom. So I would say about 1 or 2 times a month. It depends on the trip. Some trips definitely require a little bit more time, such as group trips. And some trips require a little bit more detailed. But then there are some of those that are just real simple, like, a hotel stay and a car rental. So those 5-10 minutes. In fact, a lot of my clients can just go on to my own website and book it themselves, which makes it a lot easier. So yeah.
That's pretty cool. Boyani, do you have anything?
Can I do mine? Oh my God, that's my time.
Come on, girl.
Wait for that.
Jump in, girl. Jump in.
Oh, and I almost cried when you talked about memories. Because I'm made by memories, and when I think about traveling, I think about memories. And that makes me think about the present moment. Okay, so you have to make some memories, but you have to live the present moment, right? So when you are planning the trips with your clients, what is the thing that you put on the first place? Like, okay, this trip is gonna give you some culture base, or you're gonna meet some museums, or what is your focus?
Okay, well, first of all, every client is going to be very different. And so when a client comes to me, sometimes they kind of know where they want to go, but sometimes they don't. So the main thing as a travel advisor is to really get to know what their desires are, what they're wanting to accomplish out of that particular trip, what kind of experience they would like to achieve. So you really got to get to know really what their desires are, because some clients don't even know where they want to go. They just have a budget.
That's
right?
me. That's me. I don't know where I want to go. I just want to get out of the house.
Exactly.
I'm I'm behind the 4 walls here. I just want to get out. So
yeah.
I call you up and I say, what's on special right now?
Exactly. Some of my clients literally come to me with just a budget. I have this budget. I don't know where I want to go. That's a vast, like a vacuum, right? Because I'm like, okay, well, so at that point, I'm not going to pull something within their budget. Not yet. I want to talk to them. I really want to know what what I could do to kind of help broaden or help like lessen that, just broaden their mind, but at the same time, pull them back in. Does that make sense? To be able to go, okay, are they interested in cooking? Are they interested in, like outdoor adventures? Are they interested in the ocean or the mountain? Because I could definitely find something within their budget after I've literally sat down and had a little bit more of an intimate conversation with them. Does that make sense? So that's kind of also where trust gets developed as well. So to answer your question, I don't have a specific thing that I'm going to go, like appoint this, and this. But
Uh-huh.
once I get to know them, then I can go ahead and go, okay, you know what? These are 4 places that I think you would really enjoy. These are 4 activities I think are going to blow your mind and kind of stay within their budget. Does that make sense?
It does.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's
Thank you.
great. Yeah. So I think a lot of times people don't consider travel because they think it's too expensive or it's too much of a hassle, and you've got all these arrangements to make. But that's where you come in, right? I think you're more of the relationship or the relational travel agent. You're not just somebody who sits there in the keyboard and spits out tickets. I mean, you really want to get to know them, understand the lifestyle, understand their outcome, and help them to really go where their heart is leading them to go, regardless of the money. Money's just
That is exactly right.
Money's just money, right?
Yeah. No, that is absolutely correct. I am definitely not, I might have a website but I mean, I do this because I love it. I do this because I really want them to come back and just share their experience, not only with other people, but with me. I want to hear about it. I want to hear the joy and the excitement, and I want to hear, just all the cool activities they did. I want to hear, just the memories that they made, because that to me, like I said, is priceless.
That's really awesome. I thought of my other question, but before I do that one, I want to ask, when they don't have an idea where they want to go, does it make it harder for you? Or are you going to, even if they want to go somewhere, are you still going to interview them and build that trust relationship with them?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Does it make it harder if they have no clue? It does make it a little bit harder because I have to really find the right questions to ask, because travel is such a huge industry. I mean, this world is enormous, right? I mean, there's so many places to see, even if it's in our own backyard. So to narrow that down, it does make it a little bit hard. If they do have a specific place and they know this is where they want to go, but they just don't know what they're going to do there, that makes it a little bit easier. And I still do ask those questions because, once again, even in the United States, there's so many things to do. Or even in a country that's even smaller, Luxembourg. Okay, Luxembourg is very small, but there's so much stuff to do there. I mean, so many incredible things, and it's very cultural and artistic. And so I will still ask those questions. I mean, even if they've narrowed it down to the tiny, city of Luxembourg, I'm going to still ask those questions because I want them to have an incredible experience in that city.
Do you prefer to work in any particular niche, like just family groups or corporate travel, or are you just kind of all over, it doesn't matter, wherever you want to go, call me?
I think most travel advisors will do everything, and they'll do those experiences and help with anybody that usually comes. But I think most of them also have a particular niche that we specialize in more. I will do pretty much most everything, but for me, where my passion is family all-inclusive vacations, because that's where I get the most wonderful benefits when I travel with my own family, because I don't have to worry about meals or anything like that. And so to be able to share that, I mean, that's such a relaxing vacation to me, and that's exciting for me to be able to plan that for a family. So family all-inclusives. Disney, I absolutely love Disney. Who doesn't love Disney, right? I mean, Disney is it's the happiest place on earth.
I've never been. Take me, Mom. Take me.
You've got to go. I mean, we spent a whole week at Disney, and I mean, my kids, they love it. Even adults love it. And so I really didn't think I would enjoy it that much until I spent a whole week there. And I told my husband, we got to go back. We got to go back every year because it's that fun. So
your
Disney,
inner child comes back to you,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and
that's right. Yeah. Relive your childhood. That's exactly right, Loyana. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, and I love cruising. So cruising is amazing. Cruising is such a very fun way to be able to experience a lot of different locations in a small amount of time.
That's really cool. I make a joke. It took me 50 years to get a passport. Boy, the government's so slow.
So considering that information, and what is the most favorites, places, destinies for Americans?
Ooh,
what a great question. That's great.
I'm so curious.
Where do we
that's
go?
a great question.
Yeah.
Well,
Americans don't really need a visa when they go anywhere, right? As long as they have a passport, they can pretty much go to any country and stay as long as they want.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, that's actually not true.
No way, baby.
So, that's why you're here, to clarify all of these myths.
Okay, I'm going to answer the first question.
Yeah.
Okay, is in terms of where do most Americans go?
Yeah.
I mean, they go all over the place. I think I get a lot of Hawaii, okay, because it is in it is in a state, and it's an exotic place. When you go to Hawaii, you go on vacation, and it's easy to get to in terms of they don't need a passport, they don't need a visa, but yet they are still experiencing the beauty of Hawaii and still feel like they're on vacation. So I would say probably the big number one place is Hawaii, because it's easy to get there. It's a little expensive because Hawaii is expensive, but it's easy to get there for Americans. The other place would probably be Canada. Canada and the United States reciprocate each other, and so they're able to cross their borders without a visa. They do need a passport, of course, but we're able to cross those borders fairly easily. Canada, actually, you do need a visa to go into Canada unless you're a U.S. citizen. So let's talk about visas. Basically, visas, for international travel, visas are often required, and it's really a document that grants the person coming in, the visitor, to just be able to pass through the country, for a certain amount of time or for a certain reason, such as like a visa to work. And there also are other countries that you don't really need a visa, but you would need like an electronic authorization, basically. So what that means is that, by nature, visas are very conditional, and they are limited to citizenship, like I said, the purpose of the visit, the time, the duration of the stay, and just different activities, whether it's a student visa or a work visa. Most tourist visas, a lot of countries, depending on the country and depending on the country where you come from, a lot of countries are actually kind of going away from the tourist visa, and there's a time limit on the tourist visa. So for example, in my home country, Thailand, you can go to Thailand without actually having a visa, and you can stay for 15, depending on your country, for 15 or 90 days. And so if you're going to stay longer, then you are required to get a visa. So definitely, whatever country you're looking at, definitely go to the country's embassy website or the consulate's website and definitely find out those rules and those laws, because you don't want to be stuck. I mean, I'll give you an example. And don't just assume that it's an English-speaking country that, for us Americans, that you don't need a visa. So we had planned a trip to Australia, and everything was set. I mean, everything was set until the day before. I don't know why. I mean, this is my job, right? So I don't know why it didn't dawn on me to think I needed a visa or anything like that. They speak English, right? And I would have checked it for my client, but I don't know why I didn't even check it for ourselves. Sometimes we're in a rush and we don't do stuff for ourselves that we would do for our clients, right?
Right.
So so I went on the night before. I went to the Australian consulate website and I went, oh my goodness, I need authorization to get into the country. What am I going to do? Fortunately, Australia, though you need an approval to get into the country, you don't necessarily need a visa. You need what they, it was called the Electronic Travel Authority. So what I had to do is I had to go online and fill out this form for the 6 of us. And, each form took about 15 to 20 minutes, and it immediately was attached to our passport. That allowed us to get in. So had that not been the case, our trip would have been I mean, we would have lost a lot of money, things like that for me not checking into these things. So please check into those things for sure. And you definitely want to give yourself a lot of time to do that, because some countries, most visas will have a fee to it. They can range from $50 to $200, and some visas will take months to get.
Wow.
So yes, I mean, it can take a month, it can take 6 months, depending on the type of visa that you are trying to acquire. So just make sure that when you're planning those trips that you give yourself plenty of time to be able to acquire those visas.
Wow, that's really great advice. I mean, I wouldn't know. I'm kind of an entitled American, so.
The rules sometimes are changing,
Yeah, they do.
You gotta be aware.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's why I hired the professional.
There we go.
I just rely on my expert to know what to do, and if I get stuck, you're in trouble. Not me. But that's why I get my own private jet. Just, solves all that problem,
Yeah.
Hey, so we're gonna jump to commercials real quick, and while we're gone, listen, just please ping your friends, let them know that we are here. We're in, just drop your comments. Where do you want to travel, right? When we get out of these lockdown situations, where's the first place you want to go? Please put it in the comments, and let Anna hear from you as to where you want to go. And we may be able to answer some of that, but we're also going to talk about more travel international and some other fun stuff that we've got planned for y'all. So just stay tuned, and we'll be back right after this.
This is Jessica Anderson with Faith Forward Nurse Aid Training Academy, and you are listening to Dunham Business Radio.
El censo cuenta a todos los que vivimos en este país, incluyendo aquellos que no pensarías que también cuentan. Una persona en el hospital, sí, cuenta. Miguelito que acaba de nacer, sí, Miguelito ya cuenta. Los García y los Álvarez que comparten la misma casa, sí, todos cuentan. El primo Luis que acaba de llegar al país y está viviendo en el garaje de Pedro, también cuenta. El censo cuenta a todos para que a todos nos vaya mejor.
The census counts everyone in this country, and that really means everyone. A hospital patient, yes, that person counts. Newborn Benjamin, yeah, little Ben now counts. Two families that live in the same house, sure thing, they all count. Or David, who's living in his cousin Daniel's garage, he also counts. The census counts everyone to make things better for all of us.
Hey there, everybody, and welcome back to the Dunham Business Radio Show. Thank you so much for joining us today. Boy, what a great conversation we're having with our expert. And man, we're just having a great time. And I'm just sitting here just dreaming about where I want to go next. How about you, Loyani?
Oh yeah, I'm at the same place. I'm here thinking about many places that I can go, and my budget is not that large, that big, but I guess Anna will do that job.
Yeah. Oh, Anna would do an amazing job with your budget.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. So where, you know what? We asked everybody during a commercial break to put their comments in there where they want to go as soon as they're able to get out of these four walls, right? So we're going to be monitoring that, and hopefully by the end of the show we might be able to answer that. But go ahead, drop your comments in there. Where do you want to go, and who would you take? How about that? That's a really great question too. Who would you take on a if money didn't matter, time didn't matter, we've all learned through this whole quarantine situation that we really have to live in the now. Who would you take on this fascinating vacation? Where would you go? I mean, just help us dream it with you. Let us just hear from you. Where would you go? I mean, it's exciting. So Loyani, where would you want to go?
Oh my. So she's from Thailand, right?
Yeah.
That's a place I definitely want to visit.
She grew up in the United States, but she's from Thailand.
Yeah, but when she told us about Thailand, I was like, okay, that's a place I definitely want to go always. Because of the nature. I know the culture there is very strong. So yeah, that's a place I want to go.
Oh, right. So Loyani wants to go to Thailand. You know where I want to go? My dream vacation? I want to go to the Mediterranean. I want to spend a month in an Italian villa overlooking the water. Years ago, I had it on my Facebook background of a villa that I wanted to stay in. And I've dreamt about going there. I can see it in my dreams. I'm like, I want to spend a whole month. Like, time doesn't matter. I want to sip tea over the balcony. So that's, and I want to meet my handsome gentleman. Welcome back to the show, Anna. I'm so glad
Hello.
you're here. Thank you so much. We're just dreaming, me and Loyani. You got our dreamers going. So kickstarted the dreamer. That's really awesome. So let's talk, we were talking about visas and restrictions and whatnot, stuff like that. So what are some things, like, as people are traveling, like I told you, I don't really pay attention, right? But I probably should. And I think if I did book a travel outside the United States, I would be really paying attention because I've never done it, right? But what are some things, like, let's just talk about newbies, right? People who've never been outside the United States or outside of their own country. What are some restrictions through customs or some, be careful as you travel kind of things that you might have for them?
Yeah, that is a great question. I get that asked a lot, of course, and especially for international travels, right? Because you've got to go through customs, whether you're leaving the United States and going to a different country and then coming back, you're going through it. And sometimes, yes, they can take hours. So yeah, many countries definitely have restrictions on what you bring into that country. And so the most common things that people would know is just like no food, no pets, things like that, obviously, right? But there are some things that you really wouldn't even think twice about asking about it. So you really need to definitely be aware. And I'll share a story with you about that here in just a second. But, like medications, you definitely want to be very careful. So even most prescription medications would be allowed because it's a prescribed, and you usually have to have like a doctor's documentation with it. But like over-the-counter medicines, no, you got to be real careful. You can't bring stuff like that. And so, for example, we went to Japan and I had literally just gotten a whole bottle of ibuprofen. It's over the counter, right? So not a big deal. You can buy it. I actually had to throw that out. And so I was like, we're going to Japan. I've got to go and buy ibuprofen. I don't speak Japanese. How am I going to go to the pharmacy and buy
Right. Oh,
right?
yeah.
Right. It's all in characters,
Didn't think about that. Oh, how do you get a bottle of ibuprofen from Japan?
Yeah, exactly. But I had to throw it out because they are very strict on what you bring into their country, for sure. So that's just, something that you definitely have to be aware of when it comes to restrictions going through customs and stuff. So, there are some countries too that will require certain permits as well if you're exporting something. I can give you an example of like when they go to Africa and they do a safari hunt. There definitely are individuals that do that, and they bring big live stuffed animals back, and so those require special permits. You can't just bring that back, or even and then there's definitely serious restrictions on like ivory and animal husks that you cannot. I mean, even if you go to like one of those little souvenir stands and you're buying like those little ivory things that have been carved, those are illegal in the United States.
Yes.
So you got to be real careful that, you know, even though you think it's innocent and it looks innocent, they'll confiscate that for sure. And there can be a fine, you know, imposed on you depending on what it is. I mean, you can even, not to scare anyone, but there could be even jail time, unfortunately. So definitely look into those, you know, those websites, the State Department website. In fact, there is the U.S. Customs Regulation Board, basically the Customs and Border Protection. They have a book there that you can download, and it's called Know Before You Go. And that will definitely help you in terms of kind of what's restricted and what's not. So yeah, and give yourself lots of time to go through customs.
Wow.
Lots of time, so, because it can take you hours.
Do people sometimes, like, if they know they want to have items in the United States, this is just a total amateur question here, but do they ship it to themselves in the United States from wherever they visited?
That's a good question. There are definitely things that you could get shipped, and actually that are required to be shipped. Like, you couldn't just bring it on an airplane. And once again, you will still have to have the forms and the permits in order to ship that as well. You can't just, I'm going to put it in a box and then ship it to me, you know, because yeah, you could get in trouble if the government decides to open it and you don't have the correct forms that are required, you know, for that. So yeah, there are definitely some people that will ship certain things. For example, alcohol. Alcohol is probably something that's real popular because you can only carry so many bottles home with you on the plane. And there are people that, I mean, there are people that will buy a lot of alcohol depending on where they go. You know, you go to France and you go to, you know, over there in the Burgundy region, you know, maybe you might want to bring 100 bottles home. Well, you can't bring 100 bottles home, so you can get that shipped to you for sure. So yes, I think alcohol is probably one of the things that is the item that gets mailed to the individual's home a lot more than obviously carrying it through customs.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. So what are some travel experiences that you've had? Like, where's the best place that you've been to before?
Wow. That's a tough question, only because, like I said, you know, earlier in the beginning, I've just traveled to so many different places, both as a child and as an adult. Some of the places that we've been to Japan, we went to Argentina. We've been to most places in Europe, France and England and Germany, Italy. We've been to the Mediterranean, Lori. We actually took a cruise.
Experience. Experience is the best teacher.
It is. We did a Mediterranean cruise, and that is probably one of the best ways as well to see the Mediterranean. And we went to Santorini, which is, you know, you see those beautiful pictures of the Greek islands and the blue roof. It really does look like that. It truly does. So when you see people posting those pictures, they didn't edit it. It's that gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So no, we've done that. We've been to Greece, and we've been to Athens, which is incredible to see just all the wonderful old ruins, right? You know, to Rome and the Colosseum. We did Australia a year and a half ago with my children. They absolutely loved it. We've done Panama. Yes, and did the Panama Canal. Goodness.
Do you have a map of the world on your wall? And a sticker? You know, like, yeah. I used to, in fact, I still do, I think, when I go to different states, when I travel by airplane to different states, in the airport, I'll grab a magnet in the shape of that state. And I was, on my refrigerator, I was collecting them and putting them together like a puzzle. And one year, I almost got 13 out of the 50. Wow. But I mean, I still have those magnets, and they're shaped like the state. I think they should have they have countries and continents, and they should have magnets for every place that you go visit. What fun it would be to collect.
Yeah.
How many countries are out there now? I don't even know.
Wow. There's a lot. I mean, every place we go, I also pick out like little Christmas ornaments or magnets to that place. And that actually is our ornament on our Christmas tree. And so, throughout the years, my girls have definitely been able to look at that as every year as we put them up and remember those memories, kind of like we were saying, just having memories. And so, I mean, even our 6-year-old, she wants to go back to Panama. She loves Panama.
Wow.
We did Costa Rica this earlier this year for spring break, and that was phenomenal as well. It's just going out there and traveling the world truly broadens your horizon for sure.
So let me, Loyani, do you have anything you want to ask real quick?
I do.
Okay, jump in. I've got a bunch of questions. I'm just overflowed.
I know, right? I don't want this to end. Come on. So
That's a great show. Before you ask anything, wait. Please ping your friends. Everybody that's listening in Facebook land, please ping your friends and let us know where you want to go when you're able to get out. Who do you want to bring with you? Help us dream with you, and we'll connect you with Anna, and she'll bring it into reality. So that's what we do. We connect, promote, and solve your problems. So that's what we do. So anyway, okay, Loyani.
okay, I'm sure my friends from Brazil and all my family are gonna be in the show, and oh my God, I want to travel right now. Okay.
Come on.
Yeah. Anna is there, right there. So Anna, while you guys are talking, I was thinking, okay, in about your I think I'm gonna jump in a personal question. So you're a woman and you have a big family, right? So how do you separate things? Like you got your own business, you have many things to do. So tell us more about your day.
Okay. That's a great question, Loyani. Because a lot of people wonder, how do you juggle it, right? How do you manage it all? And I will say my life is very crazy. My husband, now he retired from the Air Force, but he is now also a commercial pilot. So as a pilot's wife, I am definitely home about 75% most of the time by myself, meaning I'm raising the kids by myself and running a business and running a home. And so, that makes things really crazy and chaotic. So that is a great question for sure. You have to just really, you need a planner, most definitely. I mean, I think you will hear a lot of successful business people say you need to plan out your day. And I will be truthful with you. In the beginning, I did not plan out my day. It was just, and kids screaming, and okay, I got to get 10 minutes in here and 10 minutes in there. But you've got to be able to plan out your day, and there's really never going to be a balance. Okay, so you can't go. Something's going to give a little bit for sure, and that's okay. That's okay because you are providing. You're providing these experiences for your family. You're providing a future, running a business and things like that, things that you want to leave your children, right? So you got to be okay with that as well, to know that there's going to be some things that are going to give, and you might not be able to make a 4-course meal for dinner. Okay. So as a mom and as one that is doing most of it by herself, sometimes my kids it's mac and cheese night, and that's okay. But have a planner for sure, and have those activities that you're going to do into your planner. If you're going to spend an hour a day doing marketing, to be able to get more clients, or an hour a day of getting more knowledgeable in certain specialties of travel, because there's so many. I mean, I can, not only am I a Disney specialist, but I mean, I can become a Bahama specialist, or a destination wedding specialist. So I have all of that access to me, the education. So, decide what you want to do for sure. And block out that time and lock yourself away. So I am locked away right now.
Don't say where. Don't do it.
I won't say where.
But sometimes you got to just get behind a smaller 4-walled area.
Exactly.
So you can make some phone calls without the kids in the background and whatnot.
Exactly. So no, I mean, you've got to be able to prioritize a little bit, and just kind of find some space. I mean, even if you don't have an hour, if you have 15 minutes to be able to look up a trip, because some trips really only take about 15 minutes. I have a client who travels 3 times a month, and all they usually really need is a hotel stay. And they could go and do it on my website, but I think they really like that personal, you take care of it, which is great because that's what I'm here for, right? That literally takes me 15 minutes to book that trip.
That's awesome.
So yeah, so just it really depends, but that's kind of how my day is. I get up in the mornings, I start taking care of myself first, do my scripture time, my prayer time. My faith is important to me.
Yeah.
So I do that because that sets the mood for everything.
That's right.
I do my own self-development as well. And then I try to juggle everyday life in terms of just, being a stay-at-home mom and running a business. And, sometimes you just got to slow down, but you just keep going. You just keep going. You have a planner and you block out your time and you try to be consistent and stick with it because it's not easy, let me tell you. So it's not easy.
It's good to hear that. And we're very thankful because you didn't give up, and we need you right now. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the business side of your business.
Okay.
Now, you deal with clients in different niches, but then there's those people who want to have their own travel company or travel agency, if you will. And you've, taken those steps, you've shaped your experiences, and now you're paying it forward. And you're coaching other people who want to travel business of their own. So talk a little bit about that, like how much experience they might need or other qualifications that would help. Like I guess it depends on their niche. I mean, I wouldn't want to book international travel if I've never gone outside the United States, right? So is that wise, or what other wisdom would you give somebody, I guess?
Okay. Yeah, no, that's also a great question, because I do have a lot of people that, especially once they find out that I'm a stay-at-home mom and that I run a travel business from home, and they a lot of people want to do, they're asking how and why, or how I can get started. And so I will say I am definitely a research person. I will research something until it can't be researched anymore. And so are you that way?
No, I hate research.
Okay. That's right. You're not that way. I remember you telling me that. But that's what I'm here for.
I just like to have fun and just tell me how much it costs. Like, I don't want to know the details. I don't know what trees I'm saving by doing this and that. And I don't want to see the bottom line detail. Just tell me right up front, this is how much it is, and this is how much fun you're going to have. Boom.
Yeah.
Well, I went online and I researched how to be a travel agent. So, I was first underneath the misconception that I literally needed to go and spend thousands and thousands of dollars for training to be able to do that. But as I researched more and found out that I can actually get partnered up with a host agency to be able to have my own home-based travel business, that was a light bulb moment for me. And so then at that point, I had to go and research, well, which home agency do I want to be with, right? Because there's quite a few out there. And, I wanted to be with a company that was reputable, that ran their business with integrity. Here in the United States, being a part of the Better Business Bureau is very important. I wanted to find out what their ratings were on that as well. So I dug deep, and wanted to be able to kind of just listen to other individuals' experience as well with different host companies. And the host company that I decided to connect myself with was IntelliTravel. And IntelliTravel has been in the business for over 27 years. They really are the originator of a home-based travel business. And the president and co-founder, he still books travel today. So he's not only walking the walk, but he's talking the talk and all that stuff. So yeah, he still books travel. So it's incredible. So I decided to go ahead and partner up with IntelliTravel. And so do you need experience? No, but do you need a desire? Absolutely. Do you need to be able to have already traveled the world? Absolutely not. No. We have so many education and so many things that are available to us that just through the education, you can vicariously live through that and get excited and then be able to plan your own vacation one day. So, Lori, do you need to have left the soils of the United States? No, absolutely not. No. I mean, and even vicariously living through your clients, you know, you'll get excited. You'll get excited to be able to hear their stories as well. So yeah, no. So do you need experience? No. Do you need, you know, hundreds and hundreds of dollars? No. Every company will be different in terms of your initial investment and overhead cost. So yeah, definitely go out and research that as well. But I personally wanted to align myself up with a company who's been around for a while, who knew exactly what they were doing, and, you know, didn't just start a home-based travel business. They've been doing it, like I said, for over 27 years and have lots of credits and credentials. And also what's really important is also to have those relationships with those big vendors and big suppliers, you know, such as Disney and Norwegian and, you know, the Cruise Line International. So it's real important that make sure that whatever agency that you're looking at, that they have those great partner relationships as well.
So does it matter now? You're based in the United States. So does it matter where your client is originating their travel from? So like, for example, can Loyani and all of her college friends come together and do a group trip to India?
Absolutely. Yes, it does not matter at all. It does not matter at all. I mean, I can book travel for anyone to go anywhere. So yes, I would absolutely love to be able to put something like that together for you. That would be amazing.
So the only places you don't go is the moon?
Not yet, but that might happen one day.
Yeah.
So can you believe it's been almost an hour? That's just amazing, right? It just flies on by. So everybody who put their comments in there about where they want to go and who they want to take, we'll have to ask Anna if she would please monitor those comments over the next couple of days, and she'll jump in there and kind of just help your dream develop and see if there's any way that you can work with her to go on these dream trips, and it'd be absolutely amazing. One final thing I want to ask you, as a single woman, you know, me and Loyani, we're single right now, and there's lots of single ladies that want to travel, and sometimes they don't want to go as a group, and there's places around the world we would love to go see, but those cultures are not necessarily friendly for women, but they're friendly for tourists. So when you're looking at places like that, you want to go and experience their culture, you want to go and experience a trip, is it best to just say, you know, you're single, don't, you know, go with somebody else, go with a group, or are there single women type of precautions you can take that you can still experience some cultures as a tourist safely?
Right. No, that's also a great question. We definitely have a lot of single individuals that travel, and especially females. I mean, my oldest daughter, she is 32 and she is single, and she obviously has the travel bug as well. So when you're traveling, of course, it's common sense. You know, you definitely want to use common sense as you're traveling as well. You know, you don't want to walk in a dark alley, you know, things that you will normally hear. And there definitely are a lot of wonderful places that you can travel as a single person. I mean, I have a really good friend who, she travels all the time. I mean, she's single and she travels all the time. And one of the things that she does, instead of staying, I will tell you, instead of staying like at a hotel, because sometimes she'll travel in groups, because there are smaller single women groups that you can connect with and travel together, which is an amazing way to travel. It really is, because you can really bounce off of each other and make friendships and to develop deeper friendships and even plan another trip together. So those are things that I can connect you with as well, because there's tons of them out there. But if you just decide, you know, I want to go ahead and travel by myself, I will say there's this one tip, and she does this all the time, but she actually stays in like convents and things like that for the evening, and those are open to you as well. So she stays in there for her evening time, and it's very safe, and she doesn't have to worry, about anything going on as well. And so, of course, yeah, she's out and about. And so that's definitely one tip that you could definitely look at when you're traveling by yourself, is where you would stay, of course, in the evenings. That's the big thing, right? Yeah.
How about like an Airbnb? You could stay there if it's a family or something that is there and you're just renting their room for the week or whatever.
True. And even with Airbnb or VRBO, you definitely obviously too want to do your research as well of that particular place. Read the reviews, make sure they're verified, and things like that, because I mean, that is definitely a wonderful resource as well for places to stay. I myself look through those as well for my own family, just depending on kind of what's out there. But yeah, definitely always just use some common sense and just kind of dig a little bit deeper so you can feel safe about going where you're going.
Yeah, that's really great advice. And I'm excited. I got my passport, and I went during the commercial break and found it. So I got it. I'm ready.
Let's do it. So yeah, I mean, thank you so much.
Yeah. Loyani, anything else you want to ask Anna before we go?
No, I just want to say that, yeah, I guess in the end of the show, I'm thinking, your job is essential for us, because when I had this experience in the United States, I had someone to guide me, and that made the difference. And I'm studying the happiness field, and traveling is one of the main points to be happier, for someone to be happier. So yeah, and you guys are very welcome to come to Brazil sometimes. And thank you so much, Anna.
I'm going to take you up on that, Loyana, for sure.
Me and Anna are going to come to Brazil. Me and Anna are going to come to Brazil. I'm going to visit Loyana.
Great. I'll love it.
So Anna, real quick, let's everybody know how they can reach you when they're ready to book travel, either single or in groups or corporate. What's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
Just go straight to my website. It's called annacady.intellitravel.com. You can go ahead and register on there. You can go ahead, if you wanted something simple as a hotel, you can go ahead and just book a hotel right there from that, that portal. If you wanted something a little bit deeper, just go ahead and, fill out the customer just your information. It'll just be your name and your email, and then I can reach out to you. You can also, if you want to know how I'm doing what I'm doing, there is a button that says Learn More on top, and you can actually get a PDF booklet of everything you need to know on how to be a travel advisor. And that gets directly sent to you. You just put your name and your email, and right away you can open up that PDF and find out more on how you could be a travel advisor with IntelliTravel.
Awesome. So let's just clarify your address there. It's ANNACADY.intellitravel, INTELE travel.com.
That is correct.
Excellent. We're going to spell that out because we are radio, I guess, right? Yeah. We're radio with pictures. Anyway, thank you so much for taking the time to come on the show. We just absolutely loved it. My dreamer is now kicking into high gear. I'm going to make a list of all the places I want to go as soon as we're released from this quarantine.
I know, right?
And, here's one of my bucket lists. I'll end the show with this. My bucket list is we have listeners in 10 different countries. And I would absolutely love to come to every single country where we have listeners and have a listener party and do a live show. That would be just over the moon exciting. Would love to do that. So, we're all over the world in the United States, but 10 different countries right now listening on our show. So, I know there's more than 10 countries in the world, but let's just start with those 10, right? We'll have great big listener parties. It'll be great. So anyway, thank you all for joining. Sorry we didn't get to the comments in there, but you know what? Keep them coming. Anna's going to monitor it over the next couple of days, and she'll pop in there and answer any questions you've got. So keep the chatter going. Please share this video as soon as it's available. And, let us know how here at Dunham Business Radio, how we can help you achieve your dreams. And until next week, everybody, stay on top of the world.